Huck's Raft, 2004, a nonfiction work by American historian Steven Mintz, offers a sweeping history of childhood in America. Spanning from the Puritan era to the Industrial Revolution and into the modern day, the book presents a candid, often bleak, account of how children have lived and died over the course of 4 centuries on the American continent. Mintz divides the history of American childhood into 3 broad eras: the colonial or premodern childhood, modern childhood 1750-1950, and postmodern childhood 1950 to present. The book's title refers to Huckleberry Finn, the iconic character from Mark Twain's The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, who symbolizes a spirited yet innocent ideal of youth. An ideal that, Mintz argues, stands in stark contrast to the harsh realities most American children have faced. Huck's journey down the river is emblematic not of freedom and play, but of danger and survival. Mintz writes, "There has never been a time when the overwhelming majority of American children were well cared for and their experiences idyllic, nor has childhood ever been an age of innocence, at least not for most children." Before exploring the differences between these historical periods, Mintz emphasizes that the most significant disparities in children's experiences often stem from race and class, rather than time period. In the pre-modern era, Puritan beliefs deeply shaped perceptions of childhood. Children were seen as miniature adults tainted by original sin, far from the modern idea of childhood innocence. They were believed to be inherently corrupt and in need of strict moral correction. Yet paradoxically, some Puritan ideals eventually benefited children. For instance, the concept of public education emerged from the belief that communities bore collective responsibility for children's moral and spiritual development. Mintz also expands beyond the Puritan worldview, highlighting how different conceptions of childhood existed among Native American tribes, where children were often raised in freer and more nurturing environments that valued innocence and autonomy. White children who had been kidnapped and raised by Native American tribes often refused to return to their biological families when given the opportunity, a testament to the deep bonds and cultural integration they experienced. Mintz also explores the lives of enslaved children in the antebellum South. However, due to the historical erasure of their voices, he must rely more on statistical records, such as childhood mortality rates, than on first-hand accounts. These rates were, unsurprisingly, extremely high among enslaved populations. In discussing the modern era of childhood, Mintz begins with the emergence of the middle-class child. Departing from the austere values of Puritanism, post-revolutionary American families, influenced by Enlightenment thought, began to emphasize individual freedom and education. Middle-class parents increasingly allowed their children the autonomy to explore and learn from the world around them. Still, Mintz is quick to point out that this freedom was reserved for children of the middle and upper classes. The rise of industrialization created a paradox. While wealthier children were granted more leisure and protection, they, and their families, depended heavily on the labor of working-class children, who toiled in factories under harsh conditions. In the postmodern era, which spans from 1950 to the present, Mintz identifies a troubling duality. Children today, he argues, reflect some of the most problematic aspects of both earlier models. Like pre-modern children, they are often expected to act as miniature adults, exposed early to consumerism, pop culture, and media through both analog and digital channels. Yet, at the same time, they are treated as fundamentally different from adults, presumed to be immature and unready for adult responsibilities. As a result, they are ill-equipped to handle the very adult influences they encounter. Mintz warns, since we cannot insulate children from all malign influences, it is essential that we prepare them to deal responsibly with the pressures and choices they face. With its comprehensive scope and insightful analysis, Huck's Raft has earned widespread acclaim. HNet, among other critics, has praised it as the finest single-volume history of American childhood available. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe.